are you single?
Yes, I am single. I am 100% single because you have single and you have single. Oh, I'm married already. I mean, I have to go sit down in a AIDS and divorce. And first of all, I'm not in agreement with divorce. So that's why I'm not married as yet, because I am not intend to divorce, right? When I'm married, that is it.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm married right for a long time. I don't want married. I don't want one little husband too. But guys, sometimes it's just not your time. You have persons who think that them called for singleness, but yet still you have the urge to be married. You cannot call for singleness and have the urge to marry. You have to pick a struggle.
In your singleness, what are some things you have been doing to prepare yourself for that partner?
Well,
Let them know.
I mean, a big bumper, when you see that, now you're gonna want to interact with that. Wow. When she brought in all these, now you're gonna want to interact with that.
It's Wealthy Royalty, back again with another quality. Today I have with me a very special individual. You know, we have met through a ministry, and she's full of vibes, she's full of energy. She's just like a life of a party. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. And so, you know, you'll see some of that in this discussion. So, you know, welcome back to another video. If you have not yet subscribed, you know, I said it in the last video, I'm seeing where there are a lot of viewers and there are a lot more unsubscribed persons who are watching the contents, and you have not yet, you know, become a part of the Wealthy family. So come on board, man, come on board, and let us all have a grand time together. Now today I have with me a guest of mine, a friend of mine, you know, Tamalee. You know, you take the time to come out today.
yeah.
Yeah, man, you come out to yourself, man. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, man, a pleasure. Now, you know, we did talk and we had a little discussion around, you know, a few things as it relates to relationships long time ago.
Right.
You know, but coming from the last video I did with Davia, and if you missed that, you can go and look at this, you know, link here at the top. You will definitely, you know, enjoy it. But coming from that video, there were 3 questions that came to mind. I said, you know what, let me ask somebody who would know them straight up, straightforward, the say it without any filter. You understand?
Yeah.
And the first question that I have for you today, right? Before I go into that though, if you were to share 3 adjectives about yourself, what would those be?
So, for one, as you know, my name is Tamalee, and the first one would have been talented. I think I'm very talented. I know I'm very talented, and that's one of my main adjectives that I would want to share. So I'm talented. I am energetic.
Come on now.
Anyone know me knows that I'm energetic.
No cap.
She
ain't capping on that.
Right.
Straight.
So I'm a very energetic person, and I would say I'm very caring. Can be too caring at times, but I'm a caring person.
All right. Now with that caring, you know, we're gonna get a little bit now into the meat of the matter. Now, in my last video with Davia, right, we touched on, you know, her type, and you know, we looked at how it is that the relationships that you may have within the church, you know, how can it be, how was it, and so forth. Now, from your perspective, first let me ask, are you single? Go on,
Yes, I am single. I am 100% single. I've been single for many years. Well, not long, but a couple years. Yes, I'm 100% single because you have single and you have single.
Alright, I want to understand that. So break it down for me because I don't understand the single part.
Alright,
you know,
so
single, married, you know what I mean, divorce. Them kind of thing there's a more understand the single part.
Alright, so you know you have persons who are single but they are in a relationship or they are dating.
Okay.
But they consider themselves as being single.
Correct.
And then single is that you're not in a relationship, you're not dating, you don't have anybody, you're just single. So I am single. I'm not dating, I'm not courting, I'm not a girlfriend, I don't have a boyfriend. I'm single.
Alright, my people. It's the first very about the single part, but I appreciate the explanations. Did you understand? I like that. Now, as a single woman, right, do you desire to have a relationship sometime soon?
Yes, of course. Yes. I'm hoping and praying. Can help me to pray too, viewers. I'm hoping and praying for the right person that God wants to be my husband. Yes, I am praying for that, and I'm just waiting, having patience, don't want to rush it.
Yeah.
So I am praying for that individual that can accept me for me, and I can accept that individual for how that individual is. So all of my flaws, I'm okay with it, or we can work on it together, and I can work on his flaws together, both of us.
But that part they kind of rough sometimes, because when you really look at it, some people don't want to accept the flaws of others,
Well, that's where they go wrong. Because, all right, so for me, and I think in general, what would be best is that you can't date somebody or want to go in a relationship with somebody and say, oh, that person they love cheese, I'm have a problem with it, like me can't live with it. But because the person love cheese, but the person tall, dark and handsome, me I go look over the cheese and date the person. But then when you're the person dating, you realize that the person still love cheese and you have a problem with the cheese. So that's where the contention starts and the conflict and all of that. My thing is that if I cannot deal with your flaws, then it don't make no sense. If there are flaws that I can work on and I think that okay, yeah man, I can, then I'll go ahead. So from me see the flaws, I know that I cannot work with it, I'm not going there. That's just me.
Gotcha. So instead of put yourself in the hot water and the pot and you just find yourself and go deep down in a problem and heartache and hurt and all sorts of different
it don't worth
feelings.
it, guys. It don't worth it.
So that's advice to people who are out there. You see, say, go work from day one, you love it alone. But I have a conversation recently with a friend, and we say, hey, listen, we see where it is that there are some differences, and it shows the incompatibility. With the incompatibility, we can say, oh, say if we were supposed to say, hey, if you single and me single and want to go in a relationship, it would work because of these different things which are so important, right? And so we saw from the get-go say, hey, if we try to say we're going to kick it off and go in a relationship, it just wouldn't work because those things are some things that are just embedded in me, embedded in the person, so it just definitely would go away.
And there are also barriers. Those are barriers. So like you're not going to know the true person because like there are barriers that are there that's blocking you from actually really get the true person or the 100% that you'd want. So it really doesn't make sense. You know where it is.
I get you.
It is what it is. It's just like that. Like if the person like red, you have a problem with red and you cannot compromise, it don't make sense. You're going to say, oh, all right, me go see how it work. Or say for instance, I don't want to use beat. Let me use abusive. Say the person is abusive and you say, and all the time, him with strange, and then when you go in the relationship now and the person is being abusive, you say, oh, I'm married already, I may have to go sit down in a AIDS and divorce. And first of all, I'm not in agreement with divorce. Let me just say that.
Straight up. Same thing.
Right. That's why I'm not married as yet, because I am not intend to divorce. Right? When I'm married, that is it. So I want to make sure I'm married right. Straight up. I want to make sure I'm married right and not wrong, because I don't believe in divorce. So when that start now, that's when them say, oh, get divorced and all of that, and it really no. So if you see it from day one, guys, take my foolish advice, don't feel like you can change the person. First of all, you cannot change anybody at all. Don't make anybody tell you, oh, me can't change a person, or me can't change that one. No, only one person, and that's God. God alone can change anybody. And let me tell you, see, if the person don't want to change, no care what you do, you could have go above and beyond. No care what you do, the person will not change. The person have to accept and say, all right, yeah man, may I do this, but me want change and work on it. And with the help of God, that person will be able to, be a different person. But trust me, nobody can change nobody. I tell you.
But I'm gonna say something, just being a devil's advocate. Suppose me want to see the red flag and just see it as an orange flag and say, well, it's not so red, You know what I mean? And I can change that person to,
Well, that's the thing.
Wow.
Alright, so
you know what I mean?
Me a teacher, right? I'm a
Talk to
teacher.
us.
Red, green. You see your red bright? You see your green bright? Orange. We call like one little something. Orange and red mixed together. No. Red, a red. Green, a green. That is the reason why there are two standout color. So if you want to say orange, I say shocking color green or orange. That's your problem.
Or mustard.
Right. It's red and green. So it's either go or red flag or green flag. You can't say, oh, me see orange and the orange I got eventually turn red. Trust me, orange not turn green. Red I got turn. Trust me.
The thing is, this is already red, so you can't.
You are seeing
orange.
orange.
You
You're
know what I
color
mean?
blind.
So you touch on some very great points, and as I mentioned, single. Sometimes as singles, we feel we feel left out, and
that's true.
We see others them I get married, some of our friends them we have them around
Rough.
us, it look nice, and and we say, boy, I feel like I'm ready for somebody now. But what are you really doing to prepare yourself for that?
Right,
You know
I
what
was
I mean?
just about to say that.
So I want to know, in your singleness, what are some things you have been doing to prepare yourself for that partner?
Well, alright, so for me, as I said, me energetic, guys. So I can't just sit down and say, oh, I'm waiting on the person to drop in my lap. God is gonna put the person in my lap and say, Tamalee, this is him.
Never.
No, it's not gonna work like that. So first of all, you have to work on yourself. So after leaving the relationship, like I did, after leaving my relationship 4 or 5 years ago, I look and say, okay, I see things that I need to work on, so I can prepare myself for the person that God has for me. I mean, at times, I'm not gonna lie, I feel that way. If I don't say, she am married, I'm there a long time, I'm the one married, I'm the one little husband too. But guys, sometimes it's just not your time. God knows best, and I mean, I won't say my age.
Yeah, not necessary.
But I'm at a point in my life where I am just allowing God to just like I got have my life right now. So yes, I want a husband. I want a man to call a husband. Yes, that's for sure. I want a family and all of that, but I'm not gonna push into. So what I do, I go to different events like you have events that talk counseling events with persons who are courting, persons who are married. You listen, you learn here and there, you read stuff. I don't like reading, but I read and I listen to stuff, and I also prepare myself in, say, get too miserable. We're miserable, guys, just saying. But I'm working on it, and I see where God is working on me. Me need to change that about me. I also realized that I'm a person that I expect too much from people that are, I don't want to say wrong people or wrong individuals, but I learned that you cannot expect too much from somebody, or don't have a high expectation of somebody, because trust me, they will shame you. Yeah, man, shame you. And I've learned that. Not to the hard way, but you expect to, Jovan would never do that. Jovan would, and then, Jovan actually come and say, say, me to do it, and you're disappointed. You're disappointed, and it happens to me a lot, and you expect somebody to say, all right then, the person will call you and say, you're all right, check up on you like how you would check up on the person. You expect the person to do the same, but then you say, the person will call you, and then you're vexed, and you're putting your feelings, and but then when you get, say, you have that in your mind. The person may be like genuinely not that type of person, but because you have that in your mind, you have this expectation of that person. No, you are disappointed when it doesn't happen. Me did have to learn that the hard way. So what I learned to, to try first of all to understand the person first, understand how the person is. And what I had to learn as well is that not maybe I feel a type of way, but the person is different. So for instance, multitasking, I can multitask, right? You have persons, especially men, who cannot multitask.
Women are better at that most.
Right, and you do have men that can multitask, but not a wide range, right? So I had to learn that, cause like I was saying to myself that like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm good, like I'm balancing, I'm okay. Why is it that you can't do this, But then God have to stop me in the truck and say, let's say it work, miss, sit down, let me talk to you. And that's when I understand that I can multitask, but the person really, like I was judging the person actually to say that, you just don't care, just but then God say, this is actually how the person cannot multitask, none at all. And you have to just understand that. And like it did hard for me, because I said, God, I know him can do it. Like God, I say, I say, no, him can do it, God just say, him cannot. I say, no, him can, So God, I'm gonna have to say, all right, I'm sorry, God. It's true. I accept it. And like after accepting it, it's like I feel much better to know that, say, you have to just relax sometimes, Tamalee. You have to just, man.
Yeah.
You can't just jump. You have to just relax. So, that's.
So those are some of the things that you have been doing, and you're reflecting on how you have reacted to certain things and how you are looking and, changing how you do things so that it can be a better woman and approach things better. Now, if today a man should come to you and say, hey, I'm interested in you, and you and him, you both are going on dates, right? Would you assume that you're a girlfriend if he doesn't say, hey, would you be my girlfriend?
To be honest, I could be wrong, but I wouldn't classify myself as a girlfriend. I don't feel like God know I'm mistake. Some feel like if the person really and truly wants that, then the person would have said it to me, oh, I would really love to date you. I really, really love for you to be my girlfriend. So in my head, if the person having a them head to me then girlfriend, and then they say to me not have it in my head, sorry. You just have to say it, like you just have to ask, or like me come from the old time days when man got asked father for that's So me don't want to think, because why? I don't do well with disappointments. And me don't want to think say me a girlfriend and in the end me a no real girlfriend, me a just another
side chick.
No, I don't want that disappointment. So if Tamalee, I really like you, or we have been going out for some time, would you like to be my girlfriend? And we move on from there. But if we are chit chat and hi, or we go out and we chat and we laugh and say unto me, many girlfriends, sir. If somebody has come and say, first of all, I know that for other females it may be different. For me, everybody's different. I know in the Adventist church, they do believe in dating more than one person at the same time. I know that some persons,
some
do
believe in that.
Right, some persons. But for me personally, yes, I can multitask, but guys, me cannot take the confusion.
Yep.
Me cannot date 2, 3, 4 person. No. If I'm dating one person, it's one person and one person. Me will confuse guys. Me will call John Tim. And then a Tim him name, a John him name. Like, me no, I'm not, that's why I cannot cheat, because that's not me. That's just me. I just have to focus on one person. If it work out, it'll work out. If it work out, it will work out. But I can't say, okay, John, Tim, Ari, Yeah, no, I can't do it. Right? So if I'm dating, it has to be one person at a time. And I said, it's fine for others to date a lot of persons. That's okay with them. That's fine. That's also fine. But for me, yeah, that's just me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I share the same sentiments as you, because it's so challenging. I mean, unless you're a person who you know exactly what you're doing when you're dating multiple people, because of course it's gathering information, and if you are dating correctly, you would not have in your head like, boy, yo, alright, what if this person think this way or that way? Because if you're doing the right things, you're not crossing boundaries, you're not giving off impressions like you're a girlfriend or boyfriend,
Right.
but you're doing the friendly stuff, you know, within the confines of the public areas or the areas that are, you know, known as welcome for persons who are getting to know each other, and not places that will cause compromise and
Right.
you feeling, you know, some kind of regret, you know. And so if you're doing it that way and you're getting to know multiple people and you're sharing that, I'm getting to know Tom, I'm getting to know Ari, I'm getting to know Melissa, I'm getting to know Ayana. If you're sharing that with the person, then they would know that, hey, don't have certain expectations.
Those are just example. The names, guys. Let me just examples.
Yeah, you know. So for me personally, I share the same sentiment. If it's just one person may I date, but just I date you. If I say yo, as I said earlier,
It not work
if
out
it not
sometimes.
go
Yeah.
the way how it's supposed to move.
And guys, me really not have the time to waste. Like, it's just what it is. I don't have the time to waste, so I'm not gonna say, oh, me I run around with Tom, me I run around with this person, me I run around. No, I really don't have the time. So if I am dating somebody, I am going to have the time for that person, going to try to find out as much as possible from that individual only. We cannot find out from 6, 7, 3, 4, 5 individual. Remember that I have stuff to do. I work. I have church positions. I have different things to do at church. I have me not have the time. Me work from Monday to Friday. I go church on Saturday. So me I go use Sunday and try to figure out all these men. No. I have to wash them, I have to clean, I have to cook my little dinner.
Right,
Yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
yeah, I really don't have the time for that. But other persons do have the time, and that's fine. That's okay. But for me, and as Jovan said, the same thing. So yeah.
Yeah, man, and it's just the way it is. You know, that's our preference, and that's how we look at it. You know, another thing that I want to find out from you, Tom, you know, the right thing is for a man to pursue a woman.
Right.
And a woman to present herself.
Yes, right.
But if you see a guy and you're interested in coming back, you know, adding on to what Davey and I would have discussed, you know, if you see a guy and you're seriously into this guy, you're not gonna make an approach for him and say, hey, interested in
how to put this? All right, so the safe answer is no. Sorry. As we say again, back to the old time days, or back in the, you know, I think that the male, for me again, guys, girls, if you want to go out there and approach men, go right ahead. I know persons, I'm good friend with persons who does that, but for me, that's just not me. That's just not my thing. If I like the person would know, because, you know, I would maybe treat the person, you know, maybe nicer, or, you know, give the person, you know, you have on a nice shirt. Guys, I am excited, but I don't really talk to people like that. I'm just saying. So if I talk to the person, and I say, you know, I don't tell people that them look nice all the time. So if I say, you know, your shirt nice, your pants nice, you have a nice little haircut, or, you know, like I do things to, you know, hint to say, you know, say, I like it, but why some of them man, it's tough, man.
Yes,
So,
nah, pick it up.
pick it up, them lost, them clueless to this world. Like them want you come and say, sir, me like you. No, nobody not do that.
Not in your cabinet.
Some of them head soft. So for me, it's meant to say, oh, you know, I like the person. And I just I say, all right, God, maybe another person because I not do this.
May I put up on the spot? Is there a guy right now within the Adventist faith that you see and you have an interest in?
I mean, I've seen persons who I, you know, maybe have interest in, but you know, I just step back and I'm just allow God for, you know, if God say other person, then God will point that person to me. But yeah, there are persons in the Adventist church that I would have admired and observed and think that the person would fit the partner that I'm looking for. However, maybe that's not the person that God wants for me. So I cannot just rush and say, sir, you have all of the qualities I look for, so come and marry me. No, I have to wait because maybe there are things that I'm not seeing that God is seeing and God knows. So, you know, I have to just allow God to.
But what if this guy, he comes to you and you're really overly excited about this guy. You see him long time, you want this guy long time.
You're overly excited.
Everything. Him fit your criteria because of course, you know, majority we have certain kind of criteria or preferences.
Yeah.
But him just not depend on the spiritual level where you expect him to be.
Oh, so you mean him fit everything but him
everything, but the spiritual level does not get it.
Fasting and prayer, no. We're gonna fast and pray. Because to be honest, some persons don't know how to be, you know, how to be deep spiritually or how to be on certain spiritual level, to be honest. I think that persons don't know or understand, but I wouldn't use that as a barrier to say, oh, no, stay right there, so because, mark you, if the person and I are in a relationship, that's different. The person, if eventually reach the spiritual level, we in a relationship, but like, you know, getting to know each other and whatever, like, I'll try to. Me no Bible scholar and all of that, guys. Yes. Was born and raised in the church? No. So me no Bible scholar and so, but I know a few things and I have persons who I trust that can help me spiritually. So if the person is willing to, you know, with prayer, of course, if the person is willing to, you know, and the person reach a level, then they must say, okay, yeah, you know. But I'm not gonna say, oh, you're not on the spiritual level none at all, and we just say, oh yeah, relationship, engagement. No.
So it means, in other words, if you are both getting to know each other and he's not on the same spiritual level as you are, you're on a higher spiritual level, or you know, your relationship with God is more deeper, you would not just put him one side and say, oh, I'm not interested in him. You would try to say, hey, you know, how's your walk with God?
Right, and try to work on it.
Find out how you can help him and also what he can do differently.
Right. And persons may disagree with me. Some persons may say, oh no, I'm not on the level and whatever. But I wasn't born and raised in the church, as I said before, and I don't know a lot. There are a lot for me to know in regards to, you know, the Adventist Bible, all of that. I wouldn't want somebody to shun me or put me aside because, so I'm not going to do that to anyone. I am open to learn. I am willing to, you know. So if the person is willing to, no problem. We work together, you know, do little Bible studies with persons who we, you know, think I have a very special friend, my best friend husband, you know, Elder Marsh, big of yourself. He's one of the person that I can go to and that I have, you know, strong I have this strong respect and you know, because of how I observed how he is, and I had somebody that was very close to me and he died.
Condolences to the family.
But he was that person, you know, that spiritual person that would guide me and all of that. And when him dead, like, me question God. I mean, I say, God, you know, say him, what me I go do now? What me, you know? Like, and I see where God placed him, my best friend husband. I see where God placed him. Not like replace him, but place him there to assist me with certain things. And Shamar Henry, big up yourself. You know Shamar Henry, right? You know Shamar Henry know him stuff, and yeah. So those two persons, like, they are my go-to persons, you know. And then them know, like, if I ask a question, them say, oh yeah, da da da, and that's it. No, them scripture, Bible, that, get your Bible, that, this explain this, and I understand. So there are persons who, so if the person is on spiritual level, no, I'm not gonna say no, stay there, so, because no, I'm willing to work with the person because I would want somebody to do the same for me.
Because some people may be saying to you know that if you are the man, you're supposed to be the leader, the priest, provider, protector. Why you take up yourself to try to find a woman where you can't lead? Why you try to get a woman where you can't guide towards God? So man go get it together before you try to get a woman. So them now go sit down and try to work with a man for try to say, oh, they're gonna work together to get that man to that spiritual level. Even if you go and do that by himself with God, and come back again.
Well, yeah, you have persons who think like that, but ladies, let's just be honest. The man never finish up, you know. Like, them really are finish up, like, yeah. The man never finish up, you know, and sometimes all it takes is just a little guidance, you know. And like, I dated somebody once where, you know, I had to do certain things that, you know, I think that he is the person that's supposed to be doing it, but I never use it as a, to say, oh yeah, the man, you know, like I try to work with the person. It never work out though, but I try, you know. So me not really, maybe because I'm a teacher, I'm a love try with people, but I am not that type. Me not have that, because, and then me look on it and me and say, if God did stay son and say, you sin too much time, you know, just wanna hell. Like me would, you know, me would there so no war, you know, like I've done so many things, and God is, I want to reach the point where I'm just showing character that God would show. So I'm not gonna be hard on that. So I say, oh man, for lead, and yes, the man for lead, and I would love my husband to lead. I would love my husband to lead. I would allow him to lead, and I would be very submissive to my husband. But if my husband need that extra push to, I am willing to, like, I don't see the problem in that, because as I say, if God is turning back from me, just on me that did long time, and it's just the truth. So I'm just trying not to be that person, you know. Just I try to show character with God. As always I tell people, what would Jesus do? So I'm just trying to.
Like I say, I try to be politically correct at all. What would Jesus do? Yeah.
I always use that though, guys. But I wouldn't. I mean, if the person stubborn and tell himself say him not do it, like, sir, bye. But you do have persons who just really need a little extra, you know, a little extra push. And
I got you. No, I mean, I look at everything that you said, right, and you so far sound to me as if you are a person who look at life balance. You know, you don't look at it from a way of, oh, the man need to make sure him have everything sorted out before him come to me. You right? If some things are not fully put in place or not fully there, you will just say, alright, God, I come to you, I trust you that this man will do the right thing and grow into ways. You know, because there are many times that we say, yo, you need to be the right person. No
perfect person that out there either, guys. There's no perfect person that is out there. The person may look perfect at first, but trust me, there's nobody out there. If anybody perfect, they would be on earth. That's a number one. There's nobody that's perfect. They must have flaws some way, somehow. You may not see it same time, but there's no perfect individual. And sometimes we say we want the perfect person, and the person show as the perfect person, and then when you get into know, you realize the person is narcissist. narcissistic person, and the person this and the person that, and that's weird. So you just have to just trust God and know, as me say, from the initial stage, if the person has flaws, they can work on, and you and the person can work together. That is it. There's no perfect individual. Because guys, when I was younger, many things say is a perfect man me I get. Like, I never understand.
Life,
right, you know? One of the things there, somebody perfect me I get with all, with everything what I want, and you know, and then me I look on and me I say, but me not even, me not perfect, hello? So why me don't, you know, so I have flaws and I would love my partner to, you know, work with it and all of that, or work on it together. So yeah,
many times, you know, the females, you have certain expectations from the men, but you as a female, you not live up to the expectations that the men should have. I was having a conversation recently with a friend, and the friend was saying that, hey, you can't expect me to live in my femininity and masculinity at the same time. Man must do manly things, women must do things that are feminine. You know, I'm like, I agree, right? However, there are some things that the woman can help the man with, which is some masculine stuff where you're giving the support with. You know what I mean? But some women just have some thoughts that, yo, as a woman, I'm not to touch this, I'm not to do that.
Yeah.
The man for do this, the man
I'm
for
not
do
to
that.
chop the grass, I'm not to, you know?
Yeah. So I want to get more and more information around the thought processes of the women versus the men, which we're gonna get into on another episode. So you can look out for that one. It's going to come. You know, but Tom, you know, that's a good little segue into the final, you know, thought that we want to have today. You know, I'm just looking back and I'm thinking, as a young lady, you know, who's not yet married, you know, you're looking for a prospective husband, you know, what would you say to a young lady who is currently in your position, right? And yes, she's excited, she's energetic like you and everything, but she has lost hope in finding a man because the men within the church, they are just not doing what they should do. Or you know, some women are out there not in the church, but they are really hopeless because they're not seeing a man being a man. You know, what word of encouragement do you have for those women so that they can remember that, listen, God has a plan for you. If you're supposed to be single, you will be single. But if you have somebody for you, just know, say, yo, these are some things that you can do. What are you doing now spiritually, you know, and also mentally to ensure that these things don't put you in that hopeless place as well?
All right, so I can understand because I'm not old, guys, too old, but I remember when I was younger, funny enough that, you know, like me to tell myself, say, like, I don't have to have a man, you know, like, I just get inseminated, have my child, and, you know, my little life, work for myself. But then I remember the same person that died, my friend, that was very close to me. He was like, one day I said to him, and he looked at me and said, you know, that's very selfish. I'm a vexed, you know. Come here, so what do you mean by selfish? No, me vexed. I was so upset, and then he had to explain to me and say, you know, God wants family. You know, you getting inseminated, you don't know the sperm donor, whoever the person is, that, you know, you would have the child, you don't know the trace that the child would come with. Yeah, like when he explained to me, I look at me and say, so look at God, because let us maybe gone. Even if I thought to me that God go do it, and you know, me that sorry after. And where let me not go there, but yeah. So out there for females, some females are called to singleness, and some males too. You know, they're called to singleness. If that's what God wants for you, fine, it is okay. Also, you have persons who think that them called for singleness, but yet still you have the urge to be married. You cannot call for singleness and have the urge to marry. You have to pick a struggle.
Yes.
Right? You have to pick a struggle. Right? You have to, you know, just be patient. Pray about it. I have been praying about it. And you know, funny enough, Jovan, like, me never used to pray about it. Like, me is afraid
afraid to pray?
No, like afraid to pray for say, like go to God and say, oh God, you know, I want a husband. And
They
Me
say
I
you
say-
go deeper in it.
me I say, what is me I go to God about? But me want man, what's it all?
No, man, you
like
go deeper
like I
in it.
literally no different, but like that's how I used
You
to
used to think
feel,
about it. Yeah.
And then I find myself, start praying to God, and and I know that the devil, because the devil has been sending person that I know it's definitely not God.
Mighty God.
So that's the thing again. You pray and you say, God, I want a husband and so forth. And you see somebody coming. Tall, dark, and handsome and sparkly coming your way. And I did ever send him, But because you tell yourself, say, oh yeah, God, me pray and I him this. Why am I abusing? But I God send him. No. Nope. No. So that's another thing. So you have to know when it's God and when it's the devil. And also don't accept females do not accept the foolishness them. When it's the foolishness them, I say, oh, me did pray and maybe again and whatever, and you know in yourself said this for the devil saying it. Like me see it, guys, I see it. And next thing, don't be too picky. You cannot be too picky because that's very tough. And funny enough, person look for me and say, oh, you're in a relationship, you have a job, you're nice, da, da, da. And I wonder if you're picky. I said, picky? I said, me. And I don't know why people think that I'm picky. Persons like, I remember this guy say, oh, because you always dress nice, go to church and whatever. I'm like, I'm not supposed to dress nice, go to church? Like, I don't understand. Like, explain to me, like.
Make it make sense.
Right. So, I'm not a picky person, but I just don't stand for foolishness. And if you're going to come to me and you have a foolishness there, like it not gonna work, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say, no, it not gonna work, So maybe that's why then, but I know in my heart, and God knows that I'm not picky. Because Jovan, if I go into telling you different types of male that I've dated before, then you would know that I am really not picky. Me not picky, me not hype, me not put down man, me not feel like I have even dated persons who I am earning more than that person. And I never yet fling it in them face or say, oh, you're not work, you have a little bit of money, you're making, and me, I feel buy this or no. That's not me. I'm willing for compromise. I am that type of person where, I'm very humble though.
Very understanding.
But just excited, guys. That's just me. That's the part of me. I'm just excited. But I'm very humble. And a lot of persons don't know me from a relationship perspective because I haven't been in a lot of relationships in my past time to know. So a lot of persons don't know me from a relationship perspective, but them know me all the time. Them say, oh, you're excited and you're this and you're that and and all of that. But really in a relationship, it's different. Like persons who I've been with can say, but if them just not gonna know, because it's like a different side. I'm more humbler, I'm more more of the shy and all of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's me. But when it comes on to my job, I'm an early childhood teacher. If you don't know early childhood teacher, you know we have to be excited for the kids them and all of that. So that's just me. And in terms of dancing, I love dance. As you know, I teach dance as well.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's just me, always active. And so females, don't lose hope if you want to get married. Me see old people, not elderly persons, getting married now. Let me not say old people, elderly persons getting married now. So don't feel like you're lost and you don't have no, and don't have my biological clock a tick and ray and blah blah. I want to have a kids and I have kids and whatever. No, you can't think about. If you think that way, they go mad. It's just the truth. So just don't think about it like that. Just think about it as what do I want? What do I have to work on? So that God can prepare me. God help me to be the person that you want me to be. So my partner can find me, or just work on yourself. Also, make yourself active. Do not sit down, go work. You're working in one office and you're there in the office all day in your thoughts and whatever, you go back in your thoughts. What I do, I'm a teacher, as I said before, I'm active in the day from 8 to 4, active. I don't have no time for your thing. Everything I have to focus on the children them, right? I have 16 students. I have to focus on them. I can't just think and different things. I also do gym. I do gym at times, so I'm energetic. My affair move. I teach dance 2 days a week. I also I really don't have no time. And funny enough, one guy said, but you don't have time. If you want to say, alright, then me I go meet you, or me want to carry out, me have to go till you say 2 months in advance, and you put in it. I mean, I say, no man, I'll find the time, but I'm not gonna allow myself to, sit down and I say, why? And Jovan got married here. And look how me and Jovan attack, and Jovan just got married, and this, and Tassie got married, and she got married, and him got married. I'm just in my head, it just a girl, and I start get depressed.
Like
and
a bitter old man.
Yeah, so just keep yourself active so you can kind of move your mind from that. But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So those are some of the things that you can keep in mind, ladies. I was just trying to, get from Tamalee what are some of the things that she does so that she can keep herself sane, and hopeful at the same time.
Yeah.
And for the gentlemen, if you're looking on, yes, if Tamalee is your type, and you have seen her around and you are interested, you would have heard from her. If you're looking for a woman who is a Proverbs 31, you can be able to look and say, hey, I'm interested, you know what I mean? And so Tamalee would be able to know by you putting in your invitation. So remember, she has spoken, she gave her thoughts, and I really thank you for coming, and sharing. Of course, it's not going to be the last, you understand? This is just a follow-up from Davia's conversation to wrap it up and put it all together, just to understand the mindset of women in relation to these different topics. And so I look forward to have more of these discussions coming.
Right.
Yes, for me, I love relationships. I love to hear about the love stories and to learn more.
Yeah.
And so you will find a lot of that here. So if you enjoy these type of contents, you just leave a like, leave a comment, and share, and also subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. So Tam, blessings again. Thank you for coming over and
Appreciate
blessing up the place.
Yeah.
A pleasure, man. A pleasure. So until next time, my royalty family, remember, this is the place where you come to stay, where lives are being changed and impacted each and every day. I am out. Much love.